Yo, so we're back with another episode. I'm actually so hyped. So we're gonna be tearing down the engine now. We dropped it. Now we're gonna strip it and see what's going down. This is gonna be an exciting and fun one. I'm gonna meet some people I haven't met before too. And let's just see where it goes from here. I'll see you when I get there.
Just put it back in there. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's not the worst.
Yeah, that filter's caked. That's everything that was coming out of it.
That's it. So you can feel those.
Yeah, you can see it.
It's not. So I bought it for 5,000 dirhams. So
Wait, what?
yeah, and then I decided let's example what I was talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
So that's oil starvation. I'd say you had either an oil pump problem or something like that. I guess.
Dirhams?
No, dollars. It's a little bit shinier, and then in here is a bit different color.
Right.
So you didn't have a very good. This bit up here, you can see is discolored.
Oh yeah.
Losing compression for no reason though.
Oh,
It's just like
that's nuts.
I leave the radiator caps off for like a year.
Your engine bay is just beautiful.
It's really dirty at the moment.
Oh, so we made it to Dubai, and now the work begins. So I haven't got a chance. I never met Joel yet, but we are now, and I'm super excited for what's about to go down. This should be a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Can you just
Yeah.
this nut that's over here? If you can just pull that out when I lift this up. And then,
Pull what out?
just this silver one. Here.
Oh yeah.
Get a bit of weight off it. Yep. And then just put it back in there. That's the stuff that came out of the engine the other day from the group. That's crap, eh?
Yo, that is jokes. See, so initially, right, when this happened, I was going for like high-speed runs, right? Yeah. As you do. Yeah. And with that, I was driving from like Abu Dhabi to like Al Ain, so the 160 road, right? Yeah. So initially, hitting top speed, fifth gear, all the way to the top. This is like 200 or whatever it goes to. I don't even know, 200. Yeah. So this is where the engine cut out. Yeah. And right after the engine cut out, it was like immediate loss of compression. Immediate loss of compression. Yeah. So in my head, I mean, look, I've owned this car for just about a solid 8 months. A solid 8 months, where 2 of those months the car has been sitting, right? Until essentially, so I got a hold of him, and we've never met, and this is the first time we're meeting, which is crazy, which is quite a lot. So this is what's so wild, because if it wasn't for him, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't know what I'd be doing right now. I'm not gonna lie, I would not be like, I've searched, there was like one place in Saudi called Rotary Workshop. So I was ready to drive the car, send it to Saudi. Yeah. They don't work on rotaries. They literally have the rotary rotor in their logo, but they're like, oh no, we don't. So I'm like thinking to myself, well, like, damn, what did I get myself into, you know? Yeah. So finally we're here. At this point, it's been stripped. Sorry, it's been pulled. And now we strip it. So the question is, because I've honestly, like, I thought at this point now in the realm of like stripping it down, we'd actually be able to figure out what might have happened, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon when you're in like high gears doing long pulls that's when they fail. But a number of reasons. But
right.
I'm hoping this has had some sort of unbreakable seal used where it would have just lost compression and not done too much damage.
Right.
I've looked in the exhaust ports and I can't see like a whole bunch of score or anything crazy. There might be some small scores, but nothing that was alarming from there. But yeah, I mean, when you do a long run, like a really high gear pull like that for a while, you get a lot of heat soak. you know, they can run a little bit lean, they can start to lean out a little bit. That's when you have the damage, you know.
Right. Because I have the whole thing on video.
Yeah.
I have the whole thing on video. It's somewhere, I just can't find it because I was looking for it yesterday. And I'm just like, at some point I have to show it to you because I'm so curious of what you think actually happened. Because you can hear it where it cuts out, and then you can just hear where the compression almost just drops, and you hear the engine just trying so hard to get things going. Yeah. I'm just like, at that point I'm like, let me pull over, let it cool down, because it was just rising in temperature just a little bit. So I'm just like, okay, the only thing I know what to do is just pull over and let it cool off for a minute and see if that did anything, you know. So I guess we'll find out soon enough.
That's definitely a common thing. I mean, a lot of tuners will specifically put corrections in the ECU to run through the high gears.
Yeah.
Just to kind of combat that from actually happening. So unfortunately, nearly every engine that I've had come through here is the same story. You know, I was out with my friends in their GDRs and stuff, and trying to hang with them.
Trying to keep up, stay there. You're just like, I can only do that for like spurts at a time.
That's unfortunately what it all seems to go wrong. So.
Yeah, I get that. Because see, so after I pulled the engine, right, so I was talking to the guys at RB Tuning, and they were just talking about like some random, like, you know, switching up how you'd want to do the turbos, or like, you know, blocking off the plates so it just runs. I mean, what would you call it? I don't know what's the actual term. Running in tandem, going
like... so like deleting the sequential setup.
Yeah, the whole sequential setup. Because like, see, theoretically, right, the whole rat's nest situation, after seeing them pull it out, do people even bother reinstalling that?
They definitely, like for cars that are more like original, definitely people try to do that. I mean, a couple of guys in the group have got really nice Spirit R's and one guy and an RZ. You know, those kind of cars. There's definitely
it makes sense to keep it. Yeah.
But the simplicity and like, you know, being able to get a little more power out of it. You know, like the turbos today are so responsive that you don't even notice a difference in response, you know, that much. They're just amazing to drive. And when you get to the point of wanting that little bit extra power, it's easy to just turn the boost up. And
because see, this is where, right now I'm like considering, is that worth doing? Does that make sense to do? Because see, is it like that much of a hassle to like have to actually put it back with the whole rat's nest? Or is like, do people just bother even doing that to begin with and just be like, okay, let me just go the other way?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge hassle. It's just, it's really just getting diagrams off the internet and trying to understand
where everything goes.
When you look at it at first, you're like, whoa, that's, what the hell is all this? But when you start tracing like each single line, and you do most of it on the bench, you know, like getting the lines, and then you just kind of cut them to size and put them on. Another guy, Adam, in the group, he's got a blue 2002. He just went through that process, and yeah, he kind of, I don't know if I'd say enjoyed it, because he did it in the car and it was a bit of a headache for him. But
yeah,
I think the end result, you know, for a car like that, a 2002 kind of original car,
yeah,
you definitely go through that extra effort.
Yeah, because see, that's what I'm considering now, is like whether it's worth to do the whole block off plate, because they're saying connect the solenoids at the bottom so it reads the same, and then it's a lot more simpler in that aspect. So I'm just like, is that really worth doing? Doesn't make sense.
There's a lot of metal in that.
Oh my god.
So that is, my guess would be bearing metal by the color of it. So, I mean, if that's the case, that's not the worst case, because, you know, hopefully it hasn't scored the E-shaft and it's just a bit of damaged bearings, but it's the first sign of something not right inside.
Yeah, that filter's caked.
Yeah, I've got a lot of seal on it.
You see, in this point, right, like how do you actually see it being like the right move? Because see, even if it's like at some point I go to beg a single turbo, or if it's like keep the sequential or run them at the same time, since this is like more of an original car in its current state, right? Does it make more sense to just go back, keep the rat's nest, run it in sequential, and call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, the issue you find with a lot of these, I kept this before pulling your engine apart. This is one of the hoses from your rat's nest. And when you pull on a little bit, you can see all the cracks. It's rock hard, like I can't even squeeze it. So, it's definitely worth, have a look at it and trying to redo it if you've got the time. And the problem is a lot of the solenoids, they've got a lot of different solenoids in the rat's nest.
Right.
And it's common when you're taking the hoses off that they break off.
So we pulled it, right? In the actual engine bay, you can just see pieces of it everywhere at some point, and it's just like, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot, because I personally didn't realize how many wires and everything were down there until you actually look under it when you pull the intake off. And to be honest, I was so much more surprised than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah.
Like how rock hard, all of them were like brittle. Had to literally just cut like half of them,
Yeah.
So this is where I was like, does it make sense, Yeah.
I think if you plan long term to go down the route of going to single, then I would put my money now into an ECU. I can't remember if we discussed that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair point.
I would probably you could delete the sequential. It's going to make it a little bit laggier, so it's going to take a bit more time to come on boost. But you could you could go that route now. Get an ECU instead of buying the turbo kit. And that.
Right.
And then you pretty much set up. You can do a street port now while it's apart. And then you can actually control it for more fuel and get some more control over the engine. And then later it's simply evolved the turbo kit on.
Right, everything's already set.
You've already done a rebuild, you've got street port, and then you put it on a single and you make some good power.
So you would still keep the rat's nest, go with an ECU, and run it sequential?
I mean, you can do that for sure, yeah. It just depends on how much you need to spend to get the sequential running. That's the thing. If you need to buy all the solenoids, they can be a little bit expensive. I think I could be wrong. I've never even bothered with them because I've just gone single. Every build I've done here has been single, but I think they can be pretty expensive to buy new if you have to buy the whole thing. And they're slightly different between models. I know the earlier ones had a little bit more of a complicated setup, I believe.
So assuming, okay, because maybe I'm not understanding exactly the same way, right? So now currently the car has all the sensors it needs, right? So it's just a matter of putting things back together, right?
But it's just those solenoids.
Solenoids is
that's the part in the rat's nest that controls the airflow to the different valves and different gates and stuff within the manifold.
That's everything that was coming out of it. See, it has it's upgraded pulleys and all that sort of stuff, so I assume so. That's what I thought too.
I feel like these have been over-talked a little bit too.
The person who, because see, this is varying ideas on the aspect of pre-mixing. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's no proper answer that I've personally been able to find.
Yeah.
And the person who even sold me the car had listen to this, right? He showed me a water bottle and told me about a quarter of the water bottle you need to add premix, put it in with no exact measurements or anything. So for about 6 months when I first bought it, I drove this at least every other day.
Yeah.
Right? I drove it every other day. I was putting in coolant or topping up coolant every 3 days, 4 days. Is that normal?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought. So I was checking the levels of everything except for the oil.
Okay.
Right? That's the only thing I just wasn't sure about.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where initially when we had spoke, I'm like, oh, my oil was a problem and that's why assumption of why it was overheating and everything, But then you're like, no, that's probably not what it was exactly. So this is where it was a little confusing, down the line of how to properly maintain the car one. Because I feel I was talking to the other guys, they're saying something along the lines of, I don't even know what the measurements were now that I'm thinking about it, but 100 mils to 1 gallon or something like that, if it's turboed, or he was giving me some sequence of things 80 if it's stock or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say is the general kind of rule of thumb? Let's say it was stock, sequential, what is the ratio you're kind of looking at?
So when I built my car, I deleted my OMP, which is the oil metering pump there, which delivers oil from the sump into the combustion chamber.
Yeah.
I deleted mine and I was like, I'm just running premix because my plan was to mainly do some track driving and I was going to run the 85, so I was kind of like, I'm just going to do it this way.
Makes sense.
But I did ask lots of people, and there's so many schools of thought on it. Everyone's got a different answer.
Yeah, really, it's so wild.
So like a lot of workshops in Australia kind of go with the premix of 100 to 1.
Okay.
So that's kind of the standard. Some people say they hate the OMP and like they're like, oh, just delete it, it's junk. And then others, so very reputable people like Omar, Race Only is one of the guys. He says there's nothing wrong with them. Use them. And you can use them if you know they're working. You can use them and still top up a little bit of premix. You could do like 150 or 180 to 1. So you still got a little bit, but
so I still have mine.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I was also premixing.
Yeah.
Normal.
So it depends how much premix was going in. So that's the other thing.
I'd give you a measuring bottle. I'll tell you it's about that much of a water bottle.
Actually not that much, to be honest, because there's something like 76 litre tank in the FD, I think, from memory, something like that. They're a pretty big tank, and that much, that's probably 200 or 300 mils. It's probably not that much, So I don't think you would have been over lubricating it.
Because I guess the worst that has happened is just white smoke out the back.
Yeah. Once you get to like I run mine on E85 and I use gone blank on the oil, but this stuff Colt's Technoplate. So Colt's Technoplate. This stuff is it's good for premixing with methanol and alcohol fuels. And I run it at 80 to 1.
Okay.
And I don't get any smoke at all. It's like that's probably a little bit to do with the fact that it's the 85.
Right.
And I don't run a mega rigid idle and stuff, but when you sit there idling, it has pretty much zero smoke, But once you start mixing on pump gas and you mix in too much, you'll notice that at idle will just sit there puffing smoke.
And
not a lot, like it's not going to
ruin anything.
It's not
gonna,
go down the street and smoke a street or anything, but you'll see like a bluey kind of purpley smoke.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
But that could be also a sign of like oil coming from the engine as well. It could be multiple things, but when we first spoke and you said that you were worried the oil was too low and causing it to heat up. Yeah. It's hard for that to happen. Like if it's getting low and to the point where your bearings are getting impacted, which seems to be from the sump probably kind of likely, but that would then have to transfer through the E-shaft, through the rotors and into the cooling jackets, and that would take a lot to affect the cooling, I think.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I know someone on the internet might say different. But.
Yeah. No, look, at the end of the day, I guess we're about to find out soon enough, right? Because I'm genuinely so curious because, as much as I know about cars in general, I bought this with all intents and purposes to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people bother even getting the car because they already know off rip, they're just like, is it worth dealing with? But then again, I don't think anyone that wants one of these is too bothered by that. You know what I mean? Like, it's bound to happen at some point. Might happen sooner than later. So it's just like, at least for the time after, I'd assume I'm not going to be worried about a lot of things, right? Because they're essentially taking care of, since I've owned it, I guess, and within the first year. So it's not like it's a good look. But then again, I drove the shit out of the car, so I'm honestly not even mad. Genuinely, I kid you not, I drove the shit out of this car. I drove the shit out of this car for a proper 6 months, 2-3 days just driving, I'd take it to work, take it to the gym, go for runs, whatever. That's why I felt like I was topping up coolant and all this stuff so often, But then again, I didn't know if that was normal or not. Because the car ran so hot, and it was the first time I felt an engine bay that hot. I felt it through the hood. And I'm like, holy shit, this is kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
They do get hot, especially here. In the engine bay, you'll definitely feel they produce a lot of heat. But the cooling issue, my guess is that there'll be a leak somewhere in one of the hoses, or they run a separate tank from so this is the top of your coolant, kind of on the front of the engine, and you have your filler cap up here. And then from this hose, this runs down to another pressure tank where you have your actual pressure radiator cap on. And these can sometimes leak the hose between this or the hose between the pressure tank and the overflow. can sometimes leak. So you know, if you don't have a sealed system, when the car cools down, it should suck the coolant back in. The overflow. But if there's an air leak, it'll suck air in, and then the next time you'll have a bit of air in at the start up, and
doesn't exactly run straight through properly and everything.
There's a few reasons, and you could be you know, block radiator if your radiator's not, you know, working perfectly. I find over here the most random sand in the most random places. Like I pull engines apart and there's sand in the water jackets and stuff. You know, like so it's pretty common that stuff like that happens, and it just affects the cooling.
And we need cooling.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, on that point, right? Because see, now I'm just like going through all the stuff and all the information in my head about like how I want to actually approach it. Like, see, for example, one was like battery relocating, so you can kind of free up the space, or maybe do people mostly like, let's say, upgrade their radiator and all that sort of stuff kind of like off rip if they're choosing to like go for more? I mean, particularly, I guess I'm speaking to that because we're here. It's really, really hot. Is that worth something looking at? And like, do people do that more often than not?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, once you go to a single turbo, will go for like a V-mount setup with the radiator.
Right.
And that does provide really good cooling. And it looks, you know, the engine bays look cool with the cool amount. It does. But even for a stock car, you can upgrade to like a thicker radiator. The stock fans are really good in the FD. There's a few tricks you can do with the FD. So they run variable speeds on the fans, and they have I think there's 4 inputs, and I'm probably going to get these wrong, but one is like the AC button. When you turn the AC button on, that sends one trigger to the fans to increase speed, which is just one level of speed higher.
Right. Okay.
There's a switch in the back of that, I believe. No, sorry, I'm trying to think which one of the switches on here might be on the block.
Okay.
It sends another signal at a certain temperature. And then there's, I'm trying to think of the other ones. There's like 4 total inputs. And so you need 3 of them to reach high speed. And a lot of the time, if you're driving around like it's not full on summer and you don't have the AC going, or you know, you have even the stock thermo switch, which is one of those switches that turns it on. It doesn't switch until like very high. It's something like 90 something degrees before it sends that signal. Right. So you can get from the Series 5 RX-7, you can get a switch which switches on 10 or 15 degrees earlier, and it's exactly the same. So you just unscrew it. Put the yellow thermo switch in, plug it in, and then you get the fans coming on 1 extra level much sooner. Right. There's other ways you can just bypass that. You can link multiple relays together, so when one of the signals goes,
it goes through the rest.
Yeah. There's always different tricks, but you want these things running as cool as you can. If you can keep them in the 80s, it's awesome. If you can get them in the low 90s, it's still good. But from factory, it's not like over here. It's not unrealistic to see them at 102, 103. So the FD, I think something to do with the designs for emission. They did run hot anyway. So
right.
Anything you can do to cool it down more over here is a good thing, because they are definitely hot over here.
So what's next?
So we're going to take the back plate off now, and that's going to give us access to see the top of the rotor.
You know, it's always so funny to me after watching so many YouTube videos of just people stripping engines, and I'm finally like here just doing it with my own engine, finally like actually seeing this in person, and I'm just like so hyped about it. It's funny. It's different when it's yours. It's different when it's yours, and you look at it, you're like, damn, you know? Wow.
So yeah, this is it's equivalent seal for the outer. It's kind of brittle. This is all breaking apart pretty easy. So initially what I can see is that is scuffed the side plate. They all have.
Yeah.
So it's been wobbling. Something's gone wrong, and this side seal is pinched, so it's not sticking up. It should stick up like this one.
Right.
And it should be springy. So that's more than likely because it's been hitting the side of the engine. So.
Because see, people do that where they machine this down, right? They like
side clearance.
Yeah.
And it's for that kind of reason, and you know they shouldn't contact the sides unless something's not going right. And my guess is that there's a bearing failure here somewhere, and that's kind of giving it more room to move around.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, that is so wild to actually see. Yeah, it's got a little bounce in there, huh?
So we have a look at this back plate over here if you want.
Yeah.
So that's one of your little control rings, which is off the rotor. So we're gonna have to give it a good clean, but you can see that's where it's been hitting up here.
Right.
But so they have a measurement you need to do across like 4 or 5 places, on here.
Right.
With a micrometer to measure the step wear, but this from field doesn't have a lot of step wear. So
I see what you're saying.
So there's
Yeah.
When it's bad, you can feel it. You can feel it's very light bump, but you measure that. There's a spec that Mazda give you, and if it's within spec, it's reasonable.
Then you're okay. Yeah.
I'd say there's nothing wrong with that. We'll have to give it a good clean and just make sure where it's hit. Like it does feel a little bit weird up here, but we'll have to assess that.
That is kind of crazy. Yeah. Huh.
So we can go into a bit more detail on it once we get the rest of the engine apart.
Yeah.
We'll clean it down a bit. Whoa. Some stuff stuck on the metal.
See, I've always wondered, right? Because you just see all the like carbon deposit across the whole actual like rotor, right?
Yeah.
Is it ever like too concerning that it's like that? Or I mean, it's just the way it is, right? Like, I mean, at some point it's just the normal wear and tear, right?
Yeah, you're always going to get quite a bit of, should have stripped that off before we started. You're always going to get a bit of carbon. I mean, what you see on this road on the face, that's fairly standard amount of carbon. It's just part of running petrol. If you're running the E85 from like a new engine, you get a lot less. Like it's almost, you can take the rotors out after quite a lot of driving and they don't even look like they've been run. So
Wow.
it's much cleaner on the engine. So these got these are the original early Apex sales from Mazda. So these are original. So
See, there was this one guy, what was his name? Rad Potential.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Yeah. So he was going through the whole thing of essentially reusing a whole heap of everything that usually everyone would want to replace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These, for example, right? You would never reuse these, would you?
But you can measure them to see like if they're reusable.
Okay.
I've never reused them. I've never reassembled them with the new ones either. I've always just used aftermarket ones.
Right.
I mean, my theory is, they're expensive. You know what the kits cost.
Yeah.
Something from Atkins for a full rebuild kit can cost a bit of money. But my theory is, when you're this far into an engine build,
might as well spend a little bit more and just sort it out.
People will reuse a lot of the springs, like side seal springs, corner seal springs, and that. And it's probably not a big deal. You probably get away with it for quite a while. It might run for a long time like that, but when you get heat into it, the springs can lose a bit of tension. Right. And it's just, for me, like, I know it's an extra few $100s to buy those if you can afford it. It's just like, why not?
Yeah. Pretty much, right? We're here.
Yeah.
So it's like we're here. Might as well get it done.
I'm just going to turn this light on. I don't know if it affects your camera.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, no, it's all good.
Let's push this over. So we'll take it around and have a look at it.
Because there is an orientation, isn't there?
Yeah, if you balance them with that, it can be slightly different, but I just mark them when I take them out before I clean them, so that the front goes in front and the rear goes back in the rear. So you're going to do a full new seal kit, right?
Yeah. Got the full thing. Yeah.
I keep any of this then because it's
Of a lot of things. I thought you could just throw on more plates to make it a 20B.
I wish that was awesome.
I'm like, yeah, man. I reached out to the first person that actually like checked the compression of my engine after it happened. I'm like, so how much do you think it will really be? It's like, oh, I mean, but like, so what would it cost if it went to a 20B? I'm like, what? They gave me some like ridiculous number. I'm like, wait, you mean you can't just slap on some plates in a housing and call it a day? Oh,
this
yeah.
one's definitely got some serious marks in it. So you can feel those. With
Yeah, you can see it.
It's not good. So yeah, I don't know. Something's definitely, moved around a lot in this thing. The bearing in that rotor looks fine. Mark there actually, so there's a bit of wear on that edge. So that's obviously been wobbling. That's why it's hit.
You can see it right there. Wow, yeah.
Strip this down. Really should take this off at the start. I just wasn't thinking when we were talking, but
It's all good. It happens. I don't blame you. That's on me.
I was going to do it before you came. I'm like, no, I'll wait because you want to video it.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Could be weird. See, for example, right? Since the housing is like slightly scored, is that something people just generally get machined, or like that's just like a new?
Yeah, it's a new plate. Unfortunately, they have a nitrite coating on them.
Right.
I mean, that's another contender thing. If you go online, you'll see a whole bunch of people get them lapped and run them, and some people get them lapped and re-nitrated. I've not found anyone in the UAE that can.
Yeah.
Do the nitrite. And, I mean, I found someone that can do it, but I'm not sure that I trust them.
Right. See, that's the thing. Is it really worth doing it and not getting it done right?
It's one of those things. You put it back together and you get whatever, a couple thousand Ks out of it, and then you're on the again. So.
Yeah. And what's the point of that?
Exactly.
Cause see, would this be something that you would replace the housing for?
Yeah. I think that iron. We'll take it and have a good look at it. But
yeah.
There, I'd say it needs to be replaced.
Because I was looking at like a lot of places in China, for example, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd seen some like 1 or 2 manufacturers on like Alibaba that had like machines, CNC, like factories and this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you know if the actual like drawings for this exist someplace? For the housing, yeah.
I mean, there's a guy on Facebook from Turbulone who's making his own at the moment. So he's in the middle of trying to create his own, trying to make slight improvements to it and make it more modern. But yeah, I mean, I think he kind of played a part to kind of get an idea on what it was like on the inside and did a bunch of stuff. So.
Because at some point, see, I thought after taking this entire thing apart was to scan all the components.
Yeah.
Like I already reached out to like a handful of people who do scanning in Abu Dhabi. So I was just like, at some point, would it be worth it to like scan it all? Because I really wanted to like actually build body kits, right? Carbon body kits. And with that, I was gonna have them scan a lot of like the quarter panels and everything associated to kind of just see like, okay, can we build something else, mark it up, and then have it 3D printed and then build the carbon parts out of that. So that's where I was looking into a lot of that. So that's where I'm like, now that I'm like looking at this, is it worth something doing? Well, I mean, I'm kind of talking to myself here too, because I'm just like, that's like so much work. But I'm just like, is it worth it? Because I feel like, I mean, I looked everywhere to find any details on like the schematics of the sizing, spacing, or whatever it is. And like, you can get the general details, but in terms of like an actual like CAD drawing, nothing's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does the whole thing weigh?
I don't know. Me and like one other guy will lift one of these out of the back of the car, so
not too much.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah. Not crazy. The engine pump.
That one's on me. I'm talking my ass off in here. Distracting him while he's doing most of the work.
So is the oil pump here, and then it's just easier to take the whole pump off as one assembly.
Right.
Than it is to do this nut and have to redo it all. So
that makes sense. Because that's what I was watching yesterday too, was rad potential. Like in one of the videos, he just like, I forgot what it even was, but basically he pulled the engine out, found the issue, stripped the entire engine, rebuilt it, and then threw it back in a day.
Yeah.
Like 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
I saw that, I'm like, that's nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have a shit ton of people helping him.
Yeah.
He really did. But I'm just like, that's really nuts to think about.
When you've got like an event coming up and last minute something goes wrong, everyone chips in and
yeah, that's a top full drag style, pull the whole engine, rebuild the entire assembly and throw it back in a whole 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, how'd you do that? He's like, we got a team of 20 people, specialists, running game.
Yeah, if you got all the parts there and there's no major damage to the irons or the housings, then it's not that difficult. Honestly, most of the time is spent cleaning and prepping.
Right.
Redoing, if you're going to use new seals, doing the clearance on the side seals and measuring everything and just getting everything clean. That's probably 80% of the time.
Right.
The assembly and disassembly doesn't take that long once it's all together.
Wait, so when did you start doing that then? Like rebuilding these?
My car was the first one.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that's usually how it goes, isn't it? Yeah.
I bought mine really cheap, actually. It's, I don't know if you know the story behind it, but
no, tell me. Is it the white one out there?
Yeah.
So I'll have to show you. It's sitting out there. So once we're done, I'll show you guys. Yeah.
It's still in the middle of a build, but so it's on Instagram. So to buy _ Rotary if anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah.
So I bought it for 5,000 dirhams. So
wait, what?
yeah. So for people overseas, like it's like
no way.
$1,500. Yeah. It's
wait, when was this?
2020, end of 2020 or mid 2020. So COVID was around. My life was completely gangster out here anyway.
Yo, that's what.
It started, so I messaged this guy. I was going to bring one in from Japan. I messaged this guy on Instagram who sold used Japanese wheels here. And I was on a pretty tight budget to begin with, and I was like, shipping wheels, shipping anything to Dubai is expensive.
Yeah.
Like, they're bulky, they're probably not that heavy, but they're bulky. And I'm like, that's going to cost heaps. I'll see if I can find them locally. And I messaged this guy, and I'm like, have you any wheels in this kind of size and this offset? And he's like, yeah, what car's it for? And I said, an RX-7. And he goes, oh, I've got 2 RX-7s. And I'm like, really? Because at that time, I just hadn't even seen any, really.
Yeah.
Or really, not many around. And so, yeah, he goes, I'll come have a look at mine. And so I went around there, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, it was rough. Like, it was tucked down the side of a house near the airport. And it was very rough. And yeah, I was sitting there thinking, like, this is just a little mess, this thing, And I looked at it and I said, how much do you want for this? And he goes, make me an offer. And I said, oh man, I don't really want to offend you because it needs quite a bit of work.
See, I feel like that's always the one, right? You're like, man, I have an idea of the number I want to give you, but I don't want to tell you because you might punch me in the face.
So I said to a guy the other day, like, to give you a description of what it was like. It was like a bunch of cats that had a soup kitchen in there, if you know what that means. So it just smelt of like rodents and cat and and like, yeah, it was not in good condition. But to be fair, the interior was pretty good. It had no cracks in the dash. It was missing a diff, front bar, a few other bits and pieces. One of the seats wasn't in there. But had an engine, had most of the stuff when I started stripping this thing down.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good nick, you know.
That's
Once you get the dust
wild.
off it, I think the dust kind of protected a lot of it.
Wow, that's really wild.
Yeah, so I got really lucky with it. And then the plan was just to take it to the track, put a wrecker engine in it, take it to the track and drive it.
Right.
And then I decided let's strip the whole thing down and do a full build, and kind of went too far with it. Really, I spent a lot of money on it. But, you know, and then I decided if we're going to strip down and rebuild the rest of the car, I might as well do the engine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just make sure it's separated.
You want me to hold the shaft?
Okay, yeah. So just from underneath here,
Oh, okay, yeah.
just push the shaft up and down there. So there's a good example of what I was talking about. That's your water cooling system jacket.
Uh-huh.
But that's literally sand.
Oh, that's, oh.
So if that's in here, it's probably all through your radiator. So that I'd say that's what's caused your overheating. Interesting that it's only built up in that one area because the rest of them are alright.
Oh, that's wild. Oh, that's like caked. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, we'll knock it out when we get it up and look at it.
Oh, that's proper.
Not ideal.
Yo, that's
I
crazy.
would say, like, you look at the size of the holes. They're not. If you look through them, there's not a huge hole. It's hard to see now, but these jackets they kind of meet. And there's a small hole, but if it's clogged like that in the engine, your radiator's going to be probably really clogged.
Jeez. See, the sand really is just like a killer, ain't it?
The number of people here who don't run air filters is just scary.
You know what's funny, right? It's because I had like a ARC air filter on it, but I'm pretty sure it was just absolutely obliterated. The filter was gone.
Yeah.
And then I never even looked under until I seen it like a quarter of the piece was missing just because it's just,
Deteriorated.
yeah, just literally just blowing itself apart, you know? And then I looked and I seen that there was literally nothing except for the horn right through, and then it was just like, okay, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
The difference between it accidentally falling apart and just deciding not to run it, and then there is honestly so many people here who just say, I don't run it, you know, I don't run an air filter. I think that's crazy.
I can't even imagine, honestly. Like, people don't understand. Like, to give you an idea, if you left your car outside for 3 days, you just wash your car, you leave it outside for 3 days. By the third day, you don't just have a layer of sand, the entire car is covered in sand, and it's a different color. It's legitimately a different color.
It's caught here, and so that's damaged your E-shaft reasonably. So
Oh,
it should
wow.
be like this, and completely perfectly smooth.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also a little bit on the front here as well. It's kind of gouged into the front there a bit.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, for that, we can take some measurements and see if it's able to be machined and then get an oversized bearing for it or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's something we'll have to look at because you can't use that again as it is. It needs some work done to it.
Mm-hmm.
You see here, these have also look like they've clipped.
Yeah.
You know, they're really clean. They've been kind of rubbing. No, I wouldn't say it's as bad as the yellow one. The yellow one's a little bit worse.
So the rotor's being decently okay, right? Other than, I guess, checking the bearings and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, here, the whole clearance thing on the corners, I mean, is that something generally people would want to do, assuming that's like kind of what's happening? Or is like, if you're going to be pushing power, then you're like, oh, that's something you're definitely going to want to look at? Or
Yeah, it's more related to RPM, I would say. So when you start wanting to push the RPM a bit more, they tend to kind of walk around a bit more on the top RPM.
Yeah.
So it is a thing people do. Is, you know, side clearance are just to have that little bit of extra space on the tips.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of machining work you can do. You know, you can clearance this kind of section here as well, because when it kind of moves past the edge of the housing, that can also kind of get close when you have that wobble going on.
Right, right.
Bearing, I think, is what's going to be, most of it's going to be your oil pan, I think. can kind of see it from here. There's definitely something gone wrong in there. A couple of small marks there, but they're not as bad as the other one.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the other ones, it's got like a proper 2 or 3 in there.
Yeah, we have to kind of measure these just to be sure. I mean, that I don't think is gonna. You can see it, but it's not picking it out very much. But we'll measure the run out. There's a little step where you but not a lot.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably pretty close to the border of spec, but I think you'll get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. When you touch the other one, I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a slight variation in the depth and how deep the actual gouge is, kind of.
Once your fingernail can kind of get a grip on it, it's kind of a little bit too deep. So. So that is getting pretty close there. You can see it's almost a little chip that's gone through.
Right.
So we might have to address that. We'll check all the other plates, but you might be able to almost put a weld in there and kind of get it close. There's one here too. So even though there's not a lot of corrosion in the engine now, there are a couple of very small points there.
Right. You see the edge. Yeah, interesting.
And this is the bad part. That's your bearing.
Oh.
That's absolutely cooked. So that's
oil
starvation, I would say, is going on there. So
oh yeah, that's proper cooked.
we'll
yeah. Oh my god.
Let's take it out and have a look under the light so you can get a better view. So that's oil starvation. I'd say you had either an oil pump problem or a lot of oil or something's going on there.
Oh yeah, that's done. Jeez. Wow.
Been transferring a bit of heat, but it would have made the stack gears a bit warmer and that, but it wouldn't have caused a cooling temperature.
Right.
That's probably the sand that we found there.
So bearing, sand, bad flow, overheating, rebuild. That's about right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now all I'm going to be preaching to people is like, look, you got to have an air filter on your car. You got to have an air filter on your car. You don't want to have an air filter? All right.
I mean, this is the, it's another good reason to get a good modern ECU is, like a fluctuation in oil pressure of, a reasonable amount would have set off engine protection and cut the engine.
Yeah.
You could have looked it up on the side of the road, or you could have been like, let's let it cool for a bit, and as you go again and it happens again, you're like, okay, something's not right. You tow the car home, but you don't have that. You might
kind of guessing.
Yeah, you get an oil light if it gets low enough, but
yeah,
if you're not
and you just get the red light. That's it. Yeah.
If you're not looking at the dash, you're not going to be like, oh, something's going on.
Yeah.
Especially with 200 k's an hour, you're not looking at the dash.
No, you're not.
It's the modern ECUs like L-Tech and that, there's so many protections. You'd want one in the fuel pressure rail. Same thing with the fuel pump. If the fuel pump starts to fail or just can't provide enough flow for the setup you have or any of those situations, it'll pick it up in milliseconds and cut your engine before it
happens.
Completely gets destroyed. This side doesn't look too bad, but unfortunately, I think this one is probably just a little bit too far gone.
How much is one of the housings?
One of these, maybe 1,000, 1,500, something like that, I guess.
Dirhams?
No, dollars.
Yeah, it's all like dirhams. Like, oh, that's not too bad.
You can, I mean, you could pick something up secondhand if it's in good condition.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can feel those in there. We can run a micrometer over it, see, but I think it's your oil control rings run over that constantly. So you don't want the oil control ring kind of moving up and down on something like that.
Yeah. That's not fun news, but people tend to have to like replace these a lot of the times because of scoring.
Only if something catastrophic's gone wrong. So, you know, probably one of the more common things is that you break an apex seal, and that will just completely chew out your housings. Like there'll be massive gouges in it, and that causes pretty bad damage. It usually damages the rotors and the housings, and doesn't always damage the irons. So you can get away with, you know, depending on how bad it is and how long it's been spun around. But yeah, I think if nothing catastrophically gone wrong, the irons are usually reasonably good.
So far, I guess, is the bearing, and this is the whole singular piece, is it not?
Yeah.
Right.
So these engines only have two, one at the front, one at the rear.
Yeah, that is wild when you really look into it.
Yeah, another common thing people do is over tighten the belts in the front. So when you over tighten those belts, with there only being two bearings spaced at that kind of distance, when you start yanking on the front, you kind of pull the E-shaft into kind of a little bit higher, and they do run a lot of oil pressure. So when you're under boost and are up in RPM, they'll run like 100 psi, somewhere in that range of oil pressure, which is quite a bit. And at idle with the right kind of a thick weight oil, they'll run it like, you know, anywhere between 30 and 40, depending on how high the idle is and that. But so there is a lot of oil there to create a film around the E-shaft and keep it in the middle. But when you yank on the front of that pulley and over tighten all the belts, it does have a lot of force. And if you catch a bearing, like if your E-shaft starts rubbing on that and it gets hot, and then it starts to kind of move around more, it just destroys itself. So
yeah, it's a little too much play.
Yeah. Nothing alarming, like they're not, there's a bit of a wear just there, you can kind of feel it with your finger. But it's not, you could get those resurfaced very easily. I think they're in reasonable condition. You can see where the apex seals have made kind of contact on the outside. It's a little bit shinier, and then in here is a bit different colour. So you didn't have a very good even seal on them either.
That's it's kind of crazy. You can see it.
It's a similar kind of spot just up here, so you can see that as well. I don't know if you get this bit up here, you can see it's discoloured.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's. I mean, again, I think you would get those just resurfaced. They're not. It's not deep, but it'd be silly to put new apex seals in with that. It's just kind of losing compression for no reason though.
Oh,
it's just like
that's nuts.
A ramp of sand in there.
Literally.
So dig a bit of it out.
That is crazy. It literally is just caked in there.
And it's unfortunate. It's very common here.
Wow.
You know, if the engine's looked after, it's obviously not common. Look, there's no reason it should be in there, but you know, like you said before about leaving your car out the set, out there.
Oh, yo.
You know, if guys leave their radiator caps off for like a year or two on end, and then
that is. Oh, that's like. I mean, that's. Jeez.
It's a lot of sand.
That's like a proper block almost. Like that was like to the top. That is nuts. You don't. That is crazy.
So if that's in there, then your
radiator's full of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be ideal.
So we're up to a bearing. Housing.
Yeah.
Radiator.
I would say the center iron, I mean, we'll measure it, but
Yeah.
my guess is the center iron, you'll probably have to replace the 2 outside ones, don't look too bad. And the E shaft we need to just kind of measure and see if we can, if it can be machined and use an oversized bearing or something. And then I would probably send the housings and just get them resurfaced.
Yeah.
Send them to Omar, resend them and just say, you know, can you get these redone for me? I know it seems to be in reasonable condition, so.
Take that as a win.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably low oil is probably what's caused it. So there's the little scoring on the back. But
Nothing to be concerned about.
yeah, we'll have a closer look under some light, but it's not like there's material removed largely or anything. So yeah, that's an engine disassembly.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was fun. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what happens next, but we're going to look at what exactly will need to be changed, bought, and then kind of go from there. Essentially now just waiting for some parts of the rebuild kit to come, send the housings off to get machined, and then I guess go from there. So I'll see you guys next time. Jesus Christ.
Looks better when the turbo's in there. I took the turbo off of the NA. This is the pipe work I had done the other day. And it's got electric drive-by-wire.
So I know what it is, but explain it to me.
So it's just there's just an electric pedal, which isn't mounted. I can show you that. Just an electric pedal with like 6 wires. Well, actually, it's 4 wires, and those 4 wires go to the computer and send a signal of how much you're pushing on it, and that sends a signal to this, and that just opens the blades.
So just much more responsive.
Yeah, it's
essentially, right?
Or you can tune it, which is cool. So when you get into the tuning side of it, you have with a mechanical throttle. When you stomp the throttle on the street, the fuel and air mix relies a lot on airflow. And when you're at idle, the air coming in is under vacuum and it's bypassing, so it's pretty turbulent and helps mix the fuel. When you smash the throttle body open, the air rushes in quickly, but the fuel can't keep up. So you get a bit of a quick lean area up before the fuel are able to catch up with the injection. And with the electric throttle body, you can kind of tune it. So even when you smash the throttle, it won't react as quickly. So it'll open it at a slower speed.
Right.
Keep a bit of the airflow up and allow the fuel in to kind of mix at a better rate. So you're not flooding the engine with air and dropping speed, or dropping the air velocity as quick. And you can map that with on the dyno and stuff like that. You can map when it happens, how quick you want that to open. So you can open it very slowly, you can open it kind of fast. You can also change the sensitivity, so
variable throttle kind of situation, right?
And you can put things like I haven't really looked into this. I think there's a guy on the internet called Ryan Tuner. I'm pretty sure there's a video. I keep looking to find it, but he talks about how you can use it as almost a rev limiter. So when you get close to your RPM, it'll start to just back off instead of allowing the flow to go in.
Do you redline your car?
I try not to.
You say what?
I try not to too much.
Okay.
But I mean, when you're on roll with anti-lag, it's basically the same thing. Of whatever RPM you want to be at.
Oh, that's so funny.
There's not a lot wrong with that. I mean, RVs, for example, have got a lot more problems with hitting the limiter.
Oh yeah.
The oil pump gears shatter. Rotaries, I'm sure it's not great for them, but it's for a short time. If you hit the limiter between gears, it's not going to do any damage. But
your engine bay is just beautiful.
It's really dirty at the moment.
Always thought about this. I know the general consensus about the whole thing is, so see, you are having the whole single turbo setup now, right?
Yeah.
Every single time you register, out and in, right?
So, I mean, that's what we've been doing. So we've got this NA exhaust. Everyone just passes it around the group. But the guys that did the intercooler pipe for me said that they don't do that. They just go, they get it failed, and they go to the head office and say, look, it's a turbocharged car. Here's the specs from Mazda. It actually had 2 turbos, but you can't buy them anymore, so this is the only option we have.
Right.
As long as you've got either a bit of Worcester or you know, something like that.
Pretty much, because
Yeah.
I can definitely say, right? So most, if not, okay, a big percentage of people who have R34s, they're all in like the years of 2000s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Most, if not all of them, have classic plates. 2000 is only 25 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get a classic plate is 30 years. How does that happen?
It's crazy.
How does that happen? Trust me. Shh, cut it. Yeah, no, so it's just a thing. So I do completely get that. It's just like, see, this is why I was also avoiding, it's just because like I didn't want to go through the whole having to set everything up to have to take it off to do it again for a moment, you know?
I mean, the single turbo is really simple. Like, you know, you drop the car off to a workshop with the headers, and the same day they get it out.
Right, in and out.
A couple hours, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge deal, but I'm going to go down the route of just getting it registered now, and then when renewal comes, I'll try what that guy said and say,
Yeah.
"Look, it was like this last time," because they're not going to know.
See?
Yeah, so just say, well, I registered last time, what's the problem?
So you know what's so funny, right? So my car is loud as shit. It's like a half cat exhaust and shit.
Understatement, yeah.
Loud as shit. It was registered like that.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Far out.
It was registered like that. I drove it out the place like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got a stock rear on this, stock rear muffler for the NA setup. And it's just the custom like 2-inch headers we had made, or one of the guys in the group had made. And because it's a half bridge engine, it still sounds loud to me, like a bit of a stock car.
Yeah.
And I was worried. I rolled in thinking, on the edge of the past. I got no worries.
So I sent my car the first time this happened, send it over to him. He didn't know how loud it was or anything. He was testing the compression and everything, and the first thing he sends me is like, your car is loud. That was the first thing he said. Like, your car is loud. I'm like, yeah, it is. It definitely is.
There's loud RX-7s. So this is loud when the gate's open because it's got 2 screamers. So it's super loud under boost, but the rest of the pipe I've made, it's not that bad. It's a good deep sound, but yeah, compared to the loud rotaries in Australia, yours is still a lot louder than what it
That's funny, man.
Yeah,
I think, you know, it's wild is that I prefer it, right? Like, I just like the deep, gurgling, burble sound that it's like almost like an American V8, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know how else to describe it but that. It's like almost that kind of like volume deepness to it, like that under grumble tone, but not the same sound. Yeah.
I'm just going to grab something, I'll kick the battery, and I'll show you the dash.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh, it's so clean. Okay, I'll give you guys some beauty shots of that. Because see, if you were going for like, let's say a budget kind of ECU, because you always talk about like what, Haltech 1500 and 2500.
Yeah, depending on what turbo setup you have. So
right.
If you have the twin turbos, you have to go to 2500. Because it's the only one that will control the sequential turbo. If you go single, and the 1500's got more than enough outputs, I think, for what you need.
Yeah.
This is on a 1500, and I'm running I've got exhaust pressure sensor here, so it measures the pressure between the engine and the turbo. It's hard to see, but you can just I just had the car rewired, so that's why this is like that. All the engine harness has just been redone, so I've got to finish the wiring there.
You doing that yourself?
No, I got a friend to do the wiring.
Okay, I was just like, damn, man, what don't you do with that? I was just like,
I've done it myself, but I don't have AC. The shed's too small for the car, and it's way too hot. It's in the middle of summer. But he had it. You know, it wasn't a big job. I bought a Haltech harness, which is a flying lead harness, so it's just a whole bunch of wires. And
right.
I mapped out what I wanted, stripped them off into different groups, and then he just put it all
together.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that wasn't that difficult at all. But yeah, I've got a lot. For a 1500, I'm running quite a bit of stuff, but I'm using the Haltech's CAN keypad, which I'll show you in a second. So you can control like anti-lag, you can override the fans to run the fans all the time.
Right.
There's like, I think my one's like 8 or 9 buttons, I can't remember. You can program them to do whatever you want, and they run on the CAN bus, so you don't need to use up a bunch of inputs.
Right.
Excellent. 1500's got quite a few inputs.
So 1500, single turbo, twin turbo 2500.
Yeah.
So if I was to get an ECU for the sequential, 2500 is the only option technically.
For the Helltech, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Man, I'm really, see, you know, like I saw you send this photo of like the whole engine bay and I seen it, I'm like, damn, the intake is really beautiful. Cause see, I was a cross between, cause see, I thought about painting the engine after pulling it, but like after seeing it, I'm like, is it worth doing all of that? I don't know, right?
I didn't see much of it, really.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. So I'm just like, really now, after I see yours, like the whole black setup is beautiful. Because the only thing I was thinking about that I wanted to do was have it polished chrome.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I like that. Like black is beautiful. This is actually my style, and like literally exactly like this matches like how my car is. Like literally exactly that. But I'm just like, now that I see it, I'm just like, this is sick. But I think like now that you have this, I'm just like, I think I would do polished. Like I feel like it'd just be nice to have just a variation, because like this is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, I kept with the whole black and white thing.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It really does.
Really good people to work with.
Yeah. All right, very cool. All right, yeah, man. You wanna? Yeah, it's here too. It's so clean.
Yeah.
So you're saying you got this car for 5,000?
Yeah, 5,000 dirhams. So I mean, like I said, it wasn't a good nick. This is being completely restored. Like it's
Yeah. Full, most, if not everything's been done at this point.
But yeah, I mean, just to get a shell, you would pay more than that.
Wow, a lot more than that.
So I just recently got the UC10 dash from Helltech, and I posted a video a few weeks ago about the surround. You know, like I waited ages for the surround. It was
Oh,
glass,
that's
and it
nice.
didn't look ideal, and then I found this guy who made this from AI1 Designs, and it's amazing. Like the fit and finish of it, the quality is like just as good, if not better than OEM.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Honestly, if someone didn't know what this was and they just hopped in the car and looked at it, it'd be like, yeah, this was like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, there's no question.
This
Like
is just sitting there. Like I haven't put it all back together. But
that's beautiful.
yeah, this is the electric drive-by-wire pedal I was telling you about. So it's just.
Oh,
So
yeah.
We've got the kid from Omar at Race Only, so it's all got a bolt up, but he provides a bracket and everything, so it's completely bolt in. But yeah, it just changes everything to drive-by-wire. So.
Oh, we might have to do a full breakdown on this thing, man.
Yeah.
We might have to do that sometime for sure.
Yeah, for sure. This is the Helltech keypad, so there's rolling anti-lag on this side, and you can see up on the dashboard here when you hit it. It says what the fuck. So you can program whatever you want in there. And
Yeah,
then,
that's where the fun begins.
so your target boost is here at 14, and then I've just got up and down arrows, so you can just dial. Maybe I've got to reprogram it. Yeah, it's got to be reprogrammed. So you just dial up and down your boost.
Yeah.
If you want. So,
Oh yeah, you're playing proper video games, aren't you?
and then there's like a pit lane limiter to limit the RPM. And then you can change the dash, so that's different. There's different layouts there for the dash.
Oh yeah. See, that's too much fun. Jeez.
There's a guy in Australia that just created one that's like a white-faced OEM layout.
Oh yeah. You know, that was my whole thing, because to be honest, I'm in love with the OEM gauges.
Yeah, they're cool, yeah.
I am in love with the OEM gauges. And that's the thing, like, you know, even like I told myself this at some point, even if I was to get an like, ECU, whatever it is, like I'd want to kind of like keep the OEM dash. Like I really like it that much.
Yeah, really cool, yeah.
As much as the screens are cool, like I do love it,
Yeah.
I would probably switch at some point, but like
Yeah, it's cool to keep.
I think I like it
Yeah.
quite a lot. I love just watching it just It just reminds me of like a motorbike. I don't ride motorbikes, but it's one of those things just woo, woo, you're just like, that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, I love this added stuff too. It's just that mine wasn't with the Helltech. I didn't have enough outputs to run all the stuff on there, so I thought, I'm just gonna, instead of trying to get the stock dash working, I'm just gonna go down this route. So
Yeah.
glad
No,
it-
that makes sense
cool.
though. That makes
Yeah.
complete sense.
And my whole reason for buying the car was that I wanted to learn more about tuning and more about wiring, and
Yeah.
I wanted to put as many sensors in the car as I could.
Yeah.
So my plan eventually is to try and build a traction control setting, like a strategy from the wheel speed sensors into the ECU, and then try and like use the front and rear wheel speeds as some kind of strategy for.
Right,
So
right. Okay, I see where. I see what you're saying.
So yeah, I kind of just want to learn all that stuff, and it's just It's
See, yeah. I'm like you in that. I mean, I bought the whole thing. Like, I'm here stripping an engine with you, right? Like, I'm in the same boat, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, sick. Well, thanks for showing me that. Yeah,
cool.
no, it's beautiful. No, at some point, let me know if you guys want to like check out the whole details of this. I mean, he's going to be working on it for a minute. Setup's going to be, I mean, you plan on finishing this sometime soon, I assume, since like the whole, next few weeks. So
it'll be registered hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks.
So we'll have plates and can hit the streets. That's exactly what that is.
I've been waiting 5 years to do it. I'm getting so close. So
yeah.
on the streets a couple times.
Yeah, but this is where you wanted it to be. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Sick. So am I. I might be just as excited as you at this point now. Oh man, hell yeah.
External wastegates on the road.
Oh, yeah. Very cool, man. Well, thank you.